So, Chris, thank you for joining me today, and let's just dive straight in. So, can you share the significance of today's ASX release, which, of course, was announcing that we finalised the toll mining agreement and that we've advanced the $6.6 million strategic investment?
Yeah, so real key, Jane, is we've now finalised and agreed all the toll milling terms, which can get tricky and difficult because you're dealing with a mill owner who wants their fair share. Now it's a simple case of working through the operating procedures, which is the final stage, and then really it's all about basically getting ready to start digging ore out of the ground and then shipping it to the plant. Hopefully June, July next year it should be.
So, obviously, with the company on this growth path at the moment, and Challenger Gold obviously aspires to become a globally significant gold producer. So, how does the project fit into this vision?
Yeah, so look, Hualilan itself, we put out a scoping study plus 120,000 ounce a year producer. That was done using just the high grade core of 1.5 million ounces. So we've left, over 1 million ounces on the table. Redoing that work now, so it will be a much larger operation, which will be significant on a global scale. And really, it's then about how do we get there? How do we put the project into production?
Well, just on that then. So the toll mining agreement highlights an incentive structure which is tied to gold recovery. So can you elaborate on how this works?
Yeah, so basically, if the gold recovery is sort of less than 80%, we pay 20% of the actual physical cost of milling the ore. Recovery jumps up to 80%, we pay 25%. Recovery is over 85%, we pay 30%. And, it's a win-win. For paying a few extra dollars, in toll milling fees, we end up getting, an extra $20 to $30 a tonne revenue. So, we're sharing a small part of the profit with the mill.
And so, look, what steps are being taken to ensure a smooth start to production?
Yeah, so look, we've been running multiple streams. At the moment, we've got the technical team sort of working out mine plans, pit designs for these small high-grade pits. Geotech is almost complete. Pit design is largely finished. We're just putting final geotech parameters in. That'll let us throw out a mine schedule. At the same time, we're talking to contract miners in San Juan. We're talking to haulage companies because obviously important part is how do we mine it and then deliver it to the plant. Also looking at owner-operator models. So there's multiple work streams going on in the background that will all come to fruition around the end of January. And then really steps after that are appointing a mining contractor, if we do appoint a contractor rather than owner-operator mine. And then really it's a case of starting to mine, transporting the ore and putting it through the plant and starting to generate a cash flow.
Wonderful. And just on that, so let's discuss the $6.6 million strategic investment. How does this align with the company's broader strategy?
So that 6.6 million really gets us to where we need to be to start generating a cash flow. It allows us to pay the upfront component to use that mill. It basically funds us through with the working capital facility that we'll get from the actual mill. As part of this deal, the mill operator has agreed that they'll pay for all of our costs of mining Hualilan ore, trucking that Hualilan ore, and then processing that ore until we start to see our first cash flow. So, that saves us $5 to $10 million in working capital. So that's a big part of the agreement as well. So, yeah, that strategic placement, it gets us to where we need to be to start generating a cash flow. And it also aligns the mill owner's interest with ours, which I think is very important.
And just looking ahead now and, into 2024, what are the key milestones that investors should be looking out for?
Yeah, so look, I think on the near-term horizon, we've had a group of highly qualified engineers up just to do they've spent a few days doing a full audit of the plant to make sure there's no fatal flaws. So we're expecting that back very soon, certainly before we settle the strategic placement. Then you'll have some more metallurgy, which will confirm that we are getting really good recoveries. You'll have all the technical data coming together, which will be a sort of PEA level study, which will show how profitable it is. And I think in the current climate, if you can generate, circa 100 million US cash flow for virtually no upfront outlay, then that's a study that will be taken pretty positively by the market. And then, you look forward to milestones like that plant being turned over, first ore being mined from Hualilan, first ore being delivered, and really then first processing, and then that first gold bar. I think that first quarterly report where we show that we've generated a cash flow will be a sort of key moment for the company, and I think a pretty big re-rating event.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, thanks for joining me. Exciting times on the horizon. So look forward to future updates in the new year.
Thank you very much, Shane. Thanks for having us on.